audio. I just need to put some of the details back in because it always forgets them. YouTube is so much fun when you're trying to actually do something consistently. It just forgets everything that you did last time, so you have to put it in every single time. The scheduling doesn't seem to work with GeForce Stream. But anywho, we must carry on and keep going. So this is a test of my audio. I'm continuing testing to make sure that the audio is working. Test of my audio. I'm continuing testing. That sounds a lot better to me. That sounds much, much better. So I don't know what it was. I think I might have had something plugged in that was causing a little bit of interference. So I apologize if that's happened recently at all. It shouldn't be happening going forward because I've unplugged those things and we don't have to worry about it. Cool. So let's just turn that one off. Okay, welcome back everyone to City Skylines. We are going to be playing in Tay Bay today. Tay Bay today, I like it. So last time we did a huge amount of work on our farming industry, just building it out, really trying to make the most of the natural resources that we have down here. We were having some trouble with traffic, but that's to be expected with industry. Unfortunately, it just does take up a hell of a lot of traffic. It creates a lot of traffic. There's not much that you can do about that. So one thing that I want to try and do today is continue to work on industry, but in order to do that, I need to fulfill our demand. So we have a lot of demand for residential and commercial. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start mapping out the residential area over here. I'm going to make sure that we hit play just so that hopefully we don't run out of money as we continue to build this area out. And one of the key things I want to do is try and incorporate this highway in some way, shape or form, even if it's just sort of keeping that shape. So basically, we have our road around this, which hopefully will allow us to build out from that road and take some sort of shape from it. So one of the things that I would like to try and do is basically build out these sections one by one. So we didn't actually build a district over here, but that's something that I would like to do going forward, is build out the districts first before we place anything, so that we can get our policies straight and what have you. So basically I'm going to be building in this area. So let's just get a district set up here. And we're going to need names for these, so maybe we could have some suggestions in the comments if you want to name any of these. Let me know some of your thoughts, and we can pick out the best ones going forward. So this one's currently Madison Heights. We have a number of other ones. Beach Heights, Leisureland. Leisureland's already spoken for, unfortunately. Robin Hills, Anchor District, Crest Hills, Thornton Hills, many hills, Linden District, Belmont. So we have a fair few which we're going to need to name at some point. So we also have this one, which was the industry up here that we used for the oil area, and is probably going to remain an oil area. So I just want to pack that one out, and we can change this side of things to be a name all of its own. We've got this prison up here on the right hand side of this one, which we've had for a long time. We've also got crematoriums, and what's this? The fish market. We've got our emergency shelters and what have you around here. So yeah, I'm looking for ideas naming wise for these, and I think one thing I'd really quite like to do is potentially to not conform to the sort of very grid-like aesthetic around here. We've really started to break away from that with some of our shapes and what have you, but I think it's time up here that we continue to push away from that. So I'm gonna start by building a park right in the middle here. This will serve as a little bit of a bonus for the city, help the with the entertainment and the I think it's the land value up here. So that should hopefully help with making things a little bit more worthwhile up here. You can see we've got decent land value throughout this area, and we want to try and keep that up here. So first thing I want to do is build in a relatively decent entrance. So we're going to have two one-way roads that connect into our main sort of main way through here. So these will basically serve as the entrance and exit of the city, or this part of the city, I should say, and that will allow us to then build out from here. We'll have other entrances around the area, but that one's pretty substantial. So if we continue to build around here, I'd quite like to build without the bicycle lanes for once, just because we do so often build with the bicycle lanes. So if we build out this way, of course, road guidelines are kind of getting in the way. It might even help if I take this a little bit further back. So if we build up to, say, there, we might be able to build and keep the shape of this relatively major piece of infrastructure that we've put in here. So this way it will allow us to build around here without changing up the shape too much. So I built into the corner here so that hopefully the paths will connect naturally, and that means that hopefully people can get from one side to the other relatively quickly and walk straight through here to where they need to go. As I mentioned, we're going to have some decent connections into this area. So we're going to begin that with a asymmetrical road here. So on one side we'll have 2 and a 1, and the other side we'll have a 2 and a 1, and that way this should allow for a decent flow of traffic coming in and out of the well, currently Madison Heights and what have you going forward. So if we continue to build out this area, what I would like to do is just build. What is this one coming off of? It must be coming off of the underground that we've got here. Again, that's bicycle lanes. I don't want that. So we're going to build in like so. Just do some interesting shapes, which hopefully should allow us to do something a bit different here. I might even do a one-way here. So connect this one in down here. And then that way. I don't know whether we want the residents to come in from this side or from that side. We could do one big one-way system around here. And that would be pretty decent for traffic flow. So I feel like that should allow us to build some relatively interesting shapes off of the back of that. What I may well do is delete this bit and then build out, but build up. In fact, we build up so often, I'm tempted to go down, but the slope is too steep. You can go up, but you can't go down. So let's go down, and then we'll build out from there. So that will serve as a entrance onto this side of the main road. So we won't necessarily build out from here at this point. We'll probably build out from around here, and we'll probably do that with a decent 4-lane road. So the medium 4-lane decorative road with trees in the middle. And what I'm going to do is just build down this way to keep this very uniform shape with the highway here. And what I'd quite like to do is build out from this. So if we built with an overlapping kind of segment for the actual ploppable space, then we can probably build in something quite interesting here. And we can connect this on the other side also. And then we could probably provide another way over here. So if we were to go straight out from that road, go back up, over. If we can just get the right spot there, then it shouldn't need to affect anything. So we have another sort of one-way system here, which we could utilize. So let's go ahead and whack that in. In fact, we'll do it with the plain just straight up grass on the outside. So then this way, when we're down here, we could potentially provide a way up to here, or we could do sort of something that connects back. So it creates a little loop there. And then if we did one here, that would create a loop there. But then again, if we flip it, that creates a decent loop on this central spot. A little bit... I'm kind of conflicted as to which one we go with. I think maybe if we just did a 4-lane up, it does mean they have to cross, which isn't going to be great for traffic flow, which is the only thing. Maybe we could do some interesting shapes. Throw some interesting shapes here. So, if we go to like 45 degrees there, 45 degrees there, we could potentially create a central turnaround here. So that would, I mean, this is going to get very busy, but it means that hopefully we can provide some really interesting little connections through this area. So I would like a dedicated left-hand lane more than anything else. So we're going to separate out that one. And then up here we're going to have dedicated lanes to go round, dedicated lanes to go round. Dedicated lanes to go around the one-way system. And just all the way around here, just dedicated lanes for the turn-offs and what have you. And I might even... So if we were to treat that as a one-way system, how's it going to do this? Yeah, we want that to give way. We want that to give way. In some ways, we want that one to stop. That should be decent. Okay. I think we're going to need to control this a little bit more with our lane selector tool here, because I'm not too sure which ones go where. So would we want anything to go around in a circle here? I don't feel like we would, because if anything's coming out this way, it probably wants to go down this way. That being said, if anything gets here and it can't go through, I feel like if we split the traffic out a little bit, that might be the best course of action. So we'll do sort of 2 ways going through. This way's all through that way, and 1 up that way, 1 down that way. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm a little bit skeptical as to how well it'll work, but if we don't try these things, we don't know. So that should make for some really interesting sort of traffic flow things to look into, and hopefully it will work quite well. But obviously, you can never tell with these things. You need to know exactly. You can never tell exactly how they're gonna work. So down here, I would like a dedicated left-hand lane. That is correct. Cool. So we've already started to build out this area. Let's get some high density in, and truth be told, I don't mind whether we have what sort of shapes we have here. So I'm gonna just select it all for residential here and residential through this area, and then what we can do is probably pack in some, or not pack in, sorry, probably put in some metros around here. For example, here would be a really good one because it would connect into that other connection. And we're going to put in trams up this way. We'll probably have a couple of different routes going around here. So that's something that we need to look into. I'd also really like to put in another one of these connections up here. So hopefully we can put this up here somewhere to allow for decent connections in this section of the map, and also really quick connections out to other areas. It also means that our train traffic will be continuing through, so we'll have to work out how we're going to do that. It may be a case of we take it out similarly to this, or we build in some sort of other interesting way round here. But for now, that residential area should really start to build out. We've got a lot of demand. We've got a lot of good stuff here for those to be taking in. Metro-wise, I think it might be quite a good idea to have a connection here at this point. So what we can do is put in a path here, which we can then connect through to this section and this section. Maybe even do a bridge over this one. That might work here really quite well. So let's see how this goes. If we built a bridge here, will it go down? No, it won't quite go down. That's fine. What if we did something like a bridge up this way and then back down on this side? That's pretty much identical, and then we could still do another connection here. So that way we've got a connection over, so a really good connection to this metro that things on this side can get to, as well as get to this main way through here. So we're going to be putting in trams, like I said, so that should then allow us to have some decent connections locally and also decent connections to the rest of the city. So that should be pretty good from this standpoint. Let's just put in the metro underneath. So we've got quite a nice curve here, which we can just work with. There's no need for us to do too much here to get this line in at this point. So I'll just take that back to there. And we will build out like so. And in. That's actually a really decent curve straight into this metro. We might put something around here, so I just want to hold off from hitting play and seeing where we go for this side. What we do have on the main road is we have this connection here. So I'd quite like to build out from that straight up to here. But in order for us to do that, we need to actually continue this through. So similar to this side, I want to build into this corner. I'm thinking that if we continue with the... Where are we here? Continue with this to where that one is. In fact, if we turn on road guidelines, that may really help here. So we want this one, which annoyingly isn't actually creating. But we can then follow this shape in our city around here, and I might even do something a little bit different to last time. So if we do something like that, we can build this road out, connect it in here. Hopefully it will allow this connection in here nice and straight through. So this will provide quite a decent area for the traffic to work its way through. If we were to, similar to what we did over here, put in a connection here across that doesn't need the need to intercept that road, that'd be quite good. So we could potentially take this one back and then build down from here. And then we can actually incorporate that into our shape here. So if we were to build like this, I feel like that provides quite a nice entrance into this side. So potentially we'll have this all be one-way streets. That way it effectively provides a really good connection through here, and we can build off of it quite easily. If we were to check, that's the bicycle lane ones. Why couldn't they put these next to each other? The ones that are very similar, just right next to each other. That'd be so nice. So we have a decent road here to build off of. What we can potentially do is build through to this side in order to make more use of that connection. So we probably won't be building on this exact section, but it provides us with a decent connection through because it's off of this main link. And if we made this one-way roads like we want to, let's just go ahead and do that. So you see here, traffic doesn't have to cross in order to filter through. So if we go into this and just make the lanes separate so that hopefully stuff can turn into this road, this Wood Street, what an inventive name, and then it doesn't have to affect this area down here. In fact, let's set up our roads like that. So what I would like to do is probably do a similar thing here. So it might be worth us keeping this high so that we can then build on this side. Or we could potentially link into this road, because then that would be the right orientation for the same thing. Here we go. So we'll probably do that actually. We'll build out this side from that road. And we'll turn off ploppable land off of this section, so that hopefully these roads are the ones that get built off of for that section. So we want to come into this particular intersection here with this. So that creates a decent curve there. And what we can do, if I find that same road, in fact we could use the straightforward roads. We will build out from here and down as we've done similarly. We can put in a decent park there. What we want to do is just redivert these. And then up here, we probably want to make this a bit of a more capable road. So I'm going to use the asymmetrical road, but we may need to upgrade it in due to course. In fact, that makes no sense, because it would be one way, one lane out for all of these. Maybe we could make it 2 lanes through. That way, there's more lanes for this to go into. That would make a little bit more sense in my eyes. What I really want to do is just make sure that these have individual lanes going into them. So this one should pretty much always be able to turn. And we can also make sure that down here we're giving way. So all the traffic coming around here, it always comes up to here. It might even be worth just having this as a one-way road. We'll have to keep an eye on it and try and decide what we do there. So I'm just gonna make this individual lanes so that they don't all go in one lane to go to one place. All of the place rather. So we'll split this one out as well. And I don't think we'd be able to do the same up here. In fact, no, we might be able to do the same up here. So we used this one without the bicycle lanes. Yeah, we can do that there. That's quite a decent connection there. And then we can also build out from here to make sure that we don't put everything on one intersection here. But this should be really quite decent for that bit. Just make that give way, that give way. I have no idea how we're going to deal with through traffic here. I kind of feel like these two should have the right of way. And then this one give way, this one stop, because this is going to have the longest. I don't want stuff queuing out of here, so we want that one to be able to go over the stop sign here. That should then allow traffic through. Over here, if we made that one give way, and then that should be all of this section pretty nicely wrapped up. So as I mentioned, I want to remove the ploppable space off of this so that it all comes off of this road that we've just put in. So if we go into our main roads, this is the 6 lane with tram in the middle. Let's just select that side, and it's done it wrong. I'm just going to remove both sides because I can't trust that that tool's going to work. So I'll remove both sides and then put them on afterwards for these certain areas where we do want the actual plopping of that stuff. Okay, it looks like it might be working here. That's just annoying. There we go. No, that's wrong. I really wish this worked as it should be. It's a little bit temperamental. Does that create on here? I feel like it did. There we go. So we have ploppable space on the other side. We don't want it on this side. We might actually want it just here. So I'll put it in for that one. And then with the one-way roads, we want to control this a little bit more. So we're going to remove that there. We're going to remove it there. Did it take it from the other side? What did it just do? In fact, you know what? Just remove it all together from this and this, so that it's all off of this stuff. And here, and here. And then if there's anywhere where it probably makes sense to do the same, to try and expand the other ploppable space, like here's. Maybe not there actually. Maybe there. Maybe there. There. Yeah, that's fairly good. We need to do here as well. Here we have to be kind of careful because I don't want to remove it for this side. Then again, it might actually be pretty decent because we've got ploppable space on the other side as well. That might remove the connection for that. Just there, so we'll remove that. There we go. So we've manipulated the ploppable space so that it's a little bit better for us. And this is a point where we can have the road come down to as well. Might just split it up a little bit and have the straightforward road with no connection there. And then we can just do a connection to this road potentially with the path. if this plays ball. There we go. So that creates a decent little connection. We've got our connection to the metro. And are we going to put in a metro here? I mean, we've got a metro right there. But we could potentially plop one in. And then that connects up these two areas and these two areas really quite cleanly. After all, these are so lined up. It almost doesn't make sense not to. I just want to do this without the road guidelines interfering. Maybe without any of these interfering. I want to go to like midpoint with it. And then if we go off the angle, we can hopefully connect in there. And these should automatically connect. Like so. So that will provide us with a connection through here and up through this area and background. And then we've also got a connection between these two sort of hemispheres of Madison Park, or Madison Heights, sorry. Because at the moment there's a massive, there is a motorway connection right between them. So hopefully that will provide some decent connections between those areas. So if we just do a little path there, we've got a path there. Maybe if we path all of this, it'll prevent any silly small plops there. We'll do a connection here, and a connection here. I think that would be quite good. Connection through this way, and a connection here and here, where the junction is. And then we'll just do with the other one. Let's go from the grid just into this one, so it's nice. It almost continues the way through. Oh, we haven't actually got any ploppable space on these, so we need to put that on. So I wonder how this shakes things up. So we get some different shapes a little bit there. Should make for some interesting ploppable space. And what I might do is do a path over here. That connects, right? No, I don't think that does. Is it connected? It doesn't look like it is. This is the only real time, I think, having something like move it comes into its own. So if we do something like this, and then we can do from an angle out, in fact we want to do it in line with that. Damn. Maybe it needs to go a little bit further. Okay, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, annoyingly. But what we can hopefully do is a connection straight over the top here. So if we go down to maybe this point, we can connect in these two, and then that connects up these areas. Then we do a straight. In fact, we could possibly do something even more interesting here. I mean, I say interesting, it's just paths, but maybe if that was one over beneficial. In fact, the other one is sort of between them. Let's just do one over. That's fine. So this should provide us with a really good connection to these different areas. Up here is a little bit unforeseen at this point. So might even be able to do like a connection that way. I feel like we would have more potential foot traffic coming into this area. So we will do something like that. This will provide us with really good connections for potential trams here. The only thing is I would rather turn off the pedestrians crossing at these points so that hopefully if we do have a very busy intersection here, this should provide us with one less thing that can affect it. Let's do that so that there's an individual lane on each, and in fact I want a dedicated left-hand turn so that we can set up the lights the way we want if we have to. So I'd say that's set up fairly well. The only thing I could potentially foresee is having to do a similar thing here because we don't want pedestrians crossing these busy intersections as well. And especially where this is such a short distance, we don't necessarily want them to interrupt the flow of traffic from here. And it would be one less thing for connections to go wrong. So I think I will build a path in here, something like this. And then we could potentially do connections in here as well. This may look like a lot of pathing, but I feel like once this area gets really busy, it'll become invaluable, so we will keep it quite well connected up doing this. And what I'm going to do is just reduce the plopping in this area, maybe even here. We could create some decent buildings here if we didn't have ploppable space on the other roads. So definitely want it on this side. I reckon it'll create something quite interesting. But not the one on this center here. Oh. There we go. So that will probably create some interesting shapes. Hopefully, some interesting buildings. So we'll create down this way. We don't want anything here. It's a shame that we can't just paint where we don't want the ploppable space. Rather than using that fiddly tool, which doesn't work all the time, just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna like remove these ones altogether, or something like that. If you could dezone and then rezone, that could be really quite powerful. But anyway, I digress. So we've got our main section here, and we are just building through with ploppable space. We want to most probably remove these ones, but let's just see what happens if we plop these in. Remember, we are building off of the roads on the inner area, not necessarily the outer area. Some areas like this, where it makes sense, we've got it, but not so many of them. So if we put down some different parks, we've done a lot of these ones. I feel like these ones are like the swan song of connecting up different areas, because you've got paths on pretty much all sides, all corners, all edges even, which you can just connect up. But there's similar ones. So what ones do we have? This one's huge. I don't think we're going to be able to fit into any of this area, annoyingly. This one's quite interesting because it's sort of like a Y shape. So that connects up these three roads together with the paths. And it also uses a little bit of dead space that we weren't necessarily going to use. It might be nice to have something just over here. I wonder if we've got anything small enough that it'll just fit properly. I don't know whether that's going to have any sort of paths connecting it. I think the entrance is just here, but that should be fine. What we'll do is we'll move this over, actually. So I'll use this one because it matches it. We'll go off of the grids. Just build through there, and then it's the same sort of color. It's a little bit off because this is more like a sort of like a chip, a wood chip trail, whereas this is more like sand. But zoomed out like this, it is more similar than, say, the main cement paths that we have. So we do have our sort of walk network connected through here. We have it down here, definitely, so we could build it through to this area in Lilac District. But what we do in Madison, I think it's probably best to just keep it to the metros that we've got here, and we're going to be building in some trams that go round this area, so hopefully that will provide decent connections to the rest of the area. I might try and put in like a path here. I quite like what we've done here, building in sort of a connection between the different roads and also across, so that we can, I should probably turn off crossing on the road. Even though it might be bad for the trams, we can probably put tram stops further along that won't get affected by this. it should hopefully increase the flow of this area. So let's hit play. Let's start allowing the residential demand to build out this area, and let's just hope uh, hope that it's not gonna die. No, it'll be fine. I'm sure of it. So we'll make that a giveaway. Down here we've got the lights. In fact, what we need to do is probably... So let's just sit back and watch this grow as it's building out. Make sure that we're not making any potential little mistakes here or there. Like, that should be on this side. It might be that we've got a little snippet there because we had the public library there. So that should be fine. But we've got our first buildings growing up in this area. Hopefully they will level up quite quickly, get a little bit denser. We've got some interesting little connections through here, and we're following the shapes of the motorway that we're building around. So I'm quite excited to see how this goes. This may become quite a crucial link between the two areas, so we might have to make this a bit of a bigger road, maybe even just a one-way road continuing through, because hopefully this connection down here will be able to take the additional strain of having a main road connecting in. I feel like we should have some dedicated lanes out of here. So let's just see what happens. I'm going to pop it onto a little bit of a faster speed, and we can watch as things grow in a little bit. So we've got some growing over here and over here, the two areas that we started out with. And we've already got some growing over here as well. So this should hopefully get some decent usage through this area. I quite like how we've created some sort of bypass roads over these areas, and even some bypass paths as well. I'm hopeful that that will really help with traffic flow and just encourage walkability and not having to drive from A to B. But then again, you never know. For some reason this isn't working as it should be. Maybe we don't have it set up. Yeah, we got it set up wrong. Or it might have been when we did something with this road. It's altered it slightly. So let's just make sure that the lanes are set up correctly. So each outer lane should be an exit. That looks correct. Down here we've got the lanes. Oh no, we don't there. There we go. Have dedicated lanes for all the possible ways through. That should work much better now. We could potentially do a similar thing here. I don't know why that's giveaway. Oh! We missed a bit of pathing when a tornado came through here last. A few episodes back. Which shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully we haven't missed any others. Again, with these lanes not being... We want a dedicated left hand more than anything. So this is give way there. I mean, it's great for flow, but it's probably not a great idea to not have some sort of control on which roads have the right of way. It's weird how different roads have really inherited over time their giveaway status. We just really want this across all turn lines for entire junctions. Separate turning lanes for segment. Ah, okay, so we can separate it out. I really don't want straight through because this is just an exit. Wow, a lot of these have not remained as we had them. I swear we've gone through and done this in the past at some point. But to be fair, we've probably come through since and it's changed it up a bit. Look at all this traffic. So hopefully that will help our demand for residential for a little while. So while we're building that out, let's just take a look at our industry. So I want to take a look at Tay Forest area for a little while. So we are creating 98 tons of raw forest products. They're actually being quite well used here. We got 60 tons going there, 39 tons. That doesn't really make sense. So we might need to build up some more forestry area over here, and it'd probably be good to jump across the road and also use this area. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this over at that point. So hopefully then we have a decent amount of space here we can use. We got quite a few issues with not enough buyers of products. I think that's just literally we don't have enough commercial zoned for everything that's going on there. So if we go through and build in some decent area here to hopefully build up our industrial here, that will really increase the amount that we make out of it. So let's just put that there for allow us to know where we need to zone to, and we're going to take our small industry road. I kind of don't want to just build straight through. Maybe if we did like a one-way road, we could do something interesting there. So now we can place that on the other side, hopefully make some decent space here. Are these different? Medium tree plantation, large tree plantation, small tree sapling field. Ah, large tree sapling field. So the large tree plantation is actually way larger. I don't think we're going to be able to fit any of these smaller ones here. No. But that's fine. We'll go with something like this. On one side we've got saplings, we'll build large trees on the other side, probably. That actually fits quite nicely there. So that should hopefully provide us with a decent amount of extra raw material, but we'll build a road through here and then probably do a similar thing on the other side as to what we've done here. So in fact, if we did a main road through, we just need to grab our size here, and then we can build our... It's probably best to take this up to here so that we know roughly where we need to build through to. And then we can put saplings on this other side. Hopefully it'll be a better fill for this place, because we'll probably be able to fill 3 of these, whereas we'll only be able to put 2 of these large tree plantations up here. I kind of want to fill them in the middle, so I might move these over a little bit from this side. And then we've got... I don't know whether the saplings make any difference as to what you use them for. Like, with some of these, it would make sense in my head that grain or wheat would go to, say, cows, and then maybe some other things like greenhouse could be maybe feed for, say, some of the other animals that we have here, like sheep or something, like fruits and berries or something like that. But I really don't know whether the different things that you're creating at a sort of extractor level is going to affect the stuff that you can use that with when you're processing them or using different things. So maybe we can use this space down here for some of our other industry storage and what have you. Fortunately, I don't think it's going to fit large sawdust or wood chipping one. But then again, we might be able to move this over, and that may allow us to fit one on the other side. So it'd be worth giving that a try. No. Never mind. These have already got a lot of trucks going to them, which is pretty much in line with what we saw with the other industry. Just a hell of a lot of trucks. More than we can really do anything with. Which is always a little bit frustrating, because I want to try and create systems that work with all the traffic that's going through them, but it's just so impossible when it's at this sort of scale. These really shouldn't be stopping to go through. Okay, that's set up right. Let's just double check that these sides are set up right. There we go. That should hopefully help a lot of the traffic trying to exit this way. Cool. Okay, well, we've built up some more production there. we're going to have to try and pack in some probably some roads over here to make use of that extra production. So I feel like if we go out straight from here, we could probably connect in this at this point. So if we go to our processing buildings, hopefully we can fit something in around here. I might be wrong. Maybe we need to move this slightly. There we go. And our earthquake monitor can go there. Let's just build this out a little bit further. And then hopefully we can put some buildings around here, which will make more use of the stuff that we are creating. Maybe even a smaller one there. Yep. Cool. So we could potentially create a path here. Quite a nice little path. Can you do a path through... Ah, that's weird. I would have thought that you can create path through a train, but apparently not. Yeah, no way to do that. We might be able to possibly create like a connection over the top. And then just sneak connections through somewhere. Maybe if we keep this up high. No, it looks like that's going to work there, annoyingly. Won't even allow us if we connect it in higher. But we've created a decent connection through for pedestrians down to here. So hopefully it will entice more people to get down this way. Do we have any metro around here? Over this way, but not out here. We could probably build in some sort of bus route through here to make more use of this space. And if we maybe just put in small industry road. Down here. Maybe we can fit those on this side. That would be definitely something to see. So we have areas where we can potentially build some more forestry area, and then hopefully we can build out some decent processing for them, and that should really increase how much we make off of these. But it's good to see that Madison Heights is starting to grow out. We have Lilac district over here as well, which is ready to be zoned and created. We just haven't quite gotten to that bit yet, but I think what we're going to do is leave this one here. We've done a fair amount to build up a residential area over here. We have some citizens that are sick, so that might be something that we need to look at. It's probably due to noise pollution there, which unfortunately we can't do much about with the metro there, but anyway. It might just be something we have to put up with. We didn't put any policies on. That's annoying. I wanted to do that. But yeah, if we maybe focus on our parks around here, maybe give it an education boost. Would extra insulation help with sound pollution? I would have thought it would, but anyway. Only electric heating, recycling plastic, prefer parks. Free Wi-Fi, maybe that could be a thing. Oh, and we have a public library here, so let's put book fair on as well. Maybe switch on high-tech housing. It may well rebuild certain things, but that's sometimes just what we've got to put up with. No loud noise at night. Leisure specialized areas have to close for the night. Old Town lightning rods would be good. Maybe filter industrial waste, even though there shouldn't be any. Maybe not. Yeah. Let's see how that goes. That's Madison Heights. We'll need to name some of these, so please, if you have any ideas, then let me know. I don't want to call them Tay District 1, Tay District 2, Tay District 3, maybe Tay Heights, Tay Park, Tay District 4. Because it will get very old very soon, very quick. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We still have some pretty horrific traffic issues, but that's just so much traffic coming through from these areas. It's just going to be that way, unfortunately, for certain sections of the map. Hopefully, we can increase flow through the areas rather than worry about all the traffic and getting rid of every single little bit, because it's not going to happen in industrial bits. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think with your thumbs. If your thumbs don't cut it and you'd like to leave a comment, then please do. But